Thanks for joining us on Focus on Africa from BBC World News. The European Union is set to renew sanctions on 16 senior officials in the Democratic Republic of Congo, including Emmanuel Ramazani Shadary, the presidential candidate backed by current President Joseph Kabila. Now, it's reported the sanctions will be reimposed on the 12th of December, just a few days before the long-awaited elections. And as preparations continue for the poll, new electronic voting machines are causing controversy. The country's Electoral Commission says the machines will cut costs and help the voting process, but many are worried they could be used to rig the result. Louise Devast reports from Kinshasa.
For months, opposition parties have been protesting against the planned use of electronic voting machines made in South Korea, saying they could be used to cheat. But the Electoral Commission in the country insists on using them, claiming it will save them $100 million. Demo machines are being set up to educate voters on how to use them. Voters approach the screen and insert their polling card. Once the card is validated by the machine, pictures of candidates appear on screen. Voters can make their pick by either pressing on a picture or on a green or red box. They have three choices to make: a presidential candidate, a legislative candidate, and a provincial candidate. Once they're all confirmed, the ballot is printed from the same machine and the voter can check his or her three choices. Then the ballot goes in a box. Ballots will be counted by hand. There will be an electronic tally, but these will be used for validation purposes. And in case of discrepancies between manual and electronic returns, the manual results will prevail. Using these electronic voting machines means that there are additional factors to consider. Are there enough emergency batteries? Have all the technical staff been trained? And of course, the logistical question is a big concern in this vast country with poor infrastructure. Will they manage to transport more than 100,000 machines in time for the elections?
I'm worried about fraud because those who manipulate the machines could change some features and change the results of the election.
I don't like this. These machines, they're here to steal from us. We're fed up. We don't want this. We want normal elections.
The government and the Electoral Commission insist elections will be held as planned on December 23rd. But 2 months ahead of the polls, only half of the machines have arrived in the country, and opposition parties have not yet made a unanimous decision on whether or not to accept these machines.
Louise Devast there reporting. Now let's bring in Riza Okoy. She is from the BBC's Afrique. There are a lot of issues that have come up in the run-up to this election. What are they?
Many issues, as Louise was saying in the report. At the moment, we're focusing on the voting machines, but other issues have already been raised, which are the security issues, mainly in the whole country. As you know, there is a crisis in the Kivu, but there's a security, let's say, insecurity pushes everywhere on the country. So there's this security issue. There's also a health issue with the Ebola outbreak. So you know that more than 200 people have already been involved in this crisis, in this health crisis. This is a big concern in DRC. And I would say the other issue is also the refugee issue. You know that some Congolese people have left Angola and are now back in DRC, and most of them are in Kasai, the Kasai region, which is in the center of the country, where there's already a dire humanitarian crisis.
So a lot of issues that still need to be dealt with. What about the sanctions? What more do we know about that? And especially the fact that, you know, the preferred candidate for the outgoing president, so to speak, is facing sanctions.
One of them. So it's not the only one. Obviously, there's more candidates. I mean, not more candidates, more politicians, especially from the ruling party, that are actually targeted by these sanctions, the EU sanctions. But it's something that is really important to know is that the Congolese government thinks that this is not something to worry about because they consider this is illegal. So from their point of view, the sanctions are illegal and they think that it's unfair to actually face the travel bans or, to freeze their assets. For them, it's something that is totally illegal. So they'll still
go ahead even if they're under sanctions. I wonder though, because the opposition held a meeting in South Africa a few days ago,
yes.
And we still don't know what progress has been, what agenda they have and what the solution is.
Yes, it looks like at the moment the opposition is also very they're not really trying to find, they're trying to find a way to agree on one candidate, one unique candidate for the whole opposition. But at the moment, it's not the case. The good thing is that, or the important thing to note, is that they really don't want to postpone the election. So at the moment, all that we know is that they still want to meet and to find this solution to get one candidate to unite all the opposition. But at the moment, we are still waiting for this person to know who this is.
All right, Raiza Okoye, thank you for that update. Thank you.